Welcome back, YouTube. Showdown back again here with another Showdown live recorded session. These are a bunch of replays I have saved up, so they have to be kind of decent games. I'm guessing. I'm still on vacation, so that's that. But I really have some free time. I was like, you know what? I have a bunch of these. I have no idea. Like some of these, I swear, are like 8 months old. So, that's that. So, let's just enough of that. Just let's get right into this game. I'm gonna be leading off my Landers. He's gonna be leading off with some Mienshao. Right off the bat, he's gonna go for the fake out. The normal gem boosted fake out. It does absolutely nothing. Not only because I have my Intimidate off, and it's a weak move at that. I'm just gonna start going for choice banded earthquakes. My lord. Lando, if you're watching this choice banded Landers theory, and you cannot deny the power of this thing. I mean, it's just wrecking this guy's team. He goes for a protect on Infernape, so I'm like, okay, so maybe he has a focus sash until the end. Nope, down goes the Infernape. He's not gonna go out into his Lucario. Go for the extreme speed as a last ditch effort. Not enough. Gonna go out to Machamp. Machamp's gonna go for the blow punch. Not enough to kill it. I'm able to Oko that, so I get a little bit of a Landers theory and sweep just to show off the power of choice banded Landers. Just kind of rub it in also to, I have no idea what he goes by. He goes like DTF like Caillou, OU Lander, Frontier Psychiatrist. He has a bunch of different names he goes by, just to rub into that because, I'm such a good friend like that. But anyways, let's move on to the next game. I'm going to be leading off the Politoed. He's going to be leading off his Superior. Hey, look, it's Crimson. I'm going to go for the Ice Punch. I get the freeze hacks first turn, which, that's kind of unfortunate. But, if you later on in the games, the amount of hacks I get is just unreal. So, I'm just going to go for the Belly Drum right here. No reason not to. I mean, he is frozen after all, so that's that. I'm able to go for a nice punch, just straight up Oko Superior, because Belly Gem Politoed, you do not play games with that thing. Gonna go for the Waterfall. I actually outspeed the Electros, which is pretty cool, just Oko that thing. It's gonna go out into his Diego, his Arcanine. He is gonna be able to go for the Extreme Sweep, but that will not be able to knock out my Politoed. I'm gonna go for the Waterfall. Right here, unfortunately, due to the attack drop I got, this Waterfall won't kill. If I hadn't gotten that Intimidate drop off the Arcanine, I would have been able to knock out the Swampert, and the Brain of Terror would have been able to continue, but unfortunately that's happened. So I'm just gonna set up a Tailglow with Manaphy, no reason not to. And then I can go for an Energy Ball at +3. I'm basically guaranteed to Oko everything. So Ice Beam, that's a dead Goodra, and then he just forfeits right there. He's like, there's absolutely no reason for me to continue onwards with my life. So let's get on to the next match. I'm gonna be leading off my Scizor. He's gonna be leading off with the Smeargle. Right off the bat, it's a bad matchup for him, so he's gonna switch out into Donphan. Right here, I just want to go for the Bull Punch, break any potential sashes he might have. Right here, I'm not really fearing much from this Donphan, so I'm gonna set up a Swords Dance in its face. And then I can just Mega Up, hit it up with another Bullet Punch. I was hoping that would knock it out, but it doesn't. And I take a bit of damage from that Earthquake. That did nice damage considering I am a Mega Scizor and I do pack HP and defense investment. So what he's going to do now is going to go out into his Conkeldurr. I'm just going to Oko that thing with an Aerial Ace. Because yes, ladies and gentlemen, I do carry Aerial Ace on my Scizor. So he's going to go for an Earthquake. And yeah, it's going to just die because Earthquake's not going to be enough. I am going to go for a Bullet Punch, predicting him to go for a Aqua Jet. If I would have went for an Aerial Ace, I would have potentially been able to sweep him with a Scizor, but unfortunately for me, I did not. So I'm just going to go straight away for a Bug Bug. No reason not to. I am an Expert Belt set, but I did get the special attack boost, so that's that. He is going to get that Tray. He's going to raise his special attack, go for the Focus Blast. Focus Blast miss. I'm going to say it didn't matter because I still also, as you can see, I have all my Pokemon still here. So, that's that. He's going to go for an Aqua Jet, just try and knock me out, but no. I'm just going to be able to go for a Bullet Punch and that Bullet Punch Bug Buzz, and that's going to be able to knock him out. So, let's move on to the next match of matches. So, I'm going to be leading off I don't need it in my Genesect. He's going to be leading off with, I guess, it's kind of PU looking team. That Gloom actually eats up that Bug Buzz very, very nicely, if I do say so myself. He's going to go for a Leech Seed. He is going to miss. I'm able to just 2 KO that Gloom. So, that's that. It's going to go on his Crocodile. Going to go for the Fire Fang. I'm going to be able to live it on 2%. Unfortunately, though, I do get paralyzed, or else that thing would have been OHKO'd by Bug Buzz. So what I'm going to do is go to I'm Overused, or as it's now known as Surprise. He's going to go for the Fire Fang. He's going to burn me, which is like, why? As I am going to be able to get up my Swords Dance. He's going to go for one more Fire Fang right here. I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to go for a Science. No, he flinches me. He flinches me. So I'm forced to go for a Shadow Sneak right here. So like I said before, that freeze, it kind of matters, but at the same time, the hacks I get later on is just too much. So right here, I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna go back out into my Scarf T-Train. Gonna go for the Fire Blast, Oko that thing. He's gonna go out into Venonat. I'm gonna go for Fire Blast. He is gonna be able to put me to sleep with Sleep Powder. That's fine by me. I'm just gonna switch right out there into my Scizor. He goes out into his I'm gonna go out of my Scizor, just Oko that thing with the Bullet Punch. Oko that thing, just knock it out with the Bullet Punch. Right here, I'm not really sure what this Plusle wants to do, so I'm just going to set up a Sword Stance in his face. As it turns out, he does want to set up a Substitute, which is fine by me. He then goes out and puts up a red card, which is very weird. He's going to set up a Nasty Plot. Now, I'm just going to start seismic tossing it. Not really much he can do, because he can't really touch me, because I'm especially defensive Registeel. And, yeah, I'm just going to be able to knock out that, or attempt to knock out that Plusle, but he does decide to Baton Pass out at the last minute, go out into his Lumiose. Gonna go for the Surf. That's doing pretty much good damage considering the fact that I am a specially defensive Registeel. But yeah, he's gonna keep on going for Surfs. That's doing quite a decent amount of damage, but I am going to be able to knock it out with one more Seismic Toss, so now he's going to be forced to go out into his Honchkrow, pretty much go for like the Sucker Punch, but he actually decides to set up a Swords Dance Substitute instead. I'm tripping over my own words, I haven't done this in a while. But right here, he does reveal that he does have Sucker Punch, knocks me out. I knew Sucker Punch happened somewhere in these battles, because I have looked over some of them. He's going to go now out into, I'm going to go out into my Empoleon, my Bubbles, as I'm just going to hit that thing up with a Scald. A lot of these battles, though, I have seen that I am using my Mono Steel team, and, you know this Mono Steel team. It's basically the Mono Steel team that I use a lot. So, anyways, I am actually going to be able to live the Sucker Punch, which I thought was pretty awesome, which I didn't actually expect me to live the Sucker Punch, to be honest. And he's going to go out into Plusle. Plusle's just going to be, unfortunately, knock out Bubbles, but I am going to be able to bring in my Scizor and just knock that thing out with a Bullet Punch. So, that is another good game. Moving right along to the next one, I'm going to be leading off. He's going to be leading off with C-Trend. I'm going to be leading off with my Registeel. He misses the first Fire Blast, which is a bit unfortunate, but a lot of hacks also happens in this battle. I'm going to go for my Stealth Hacks, goes with Fire Blast, and he gets the burn, which is... So, I'm just going to go straight away for another Seismic Toss, try and get a bit of chip damage off, and he crits me on the next Fire Blast, which is like, great, awesome. Gonna go out now in my Empoleon on my Bubbles. Gonna go for the Scald. Hope I get the burn on this Machamp, and I do. Which, if this thing is Guts, that sucks. But if this thing is No Guard, which I think it is, that's pretty awesome. I'm gonna go out into my Aegislash here, as he does reveal the Dynamic Punch, which basically tells me that it is going to be a and that burned, and that payback also confirms the fact that there is no guard, which means I'm able to set up a substitute now and start Swords Dancing in this thing's face, which is going to be great, because now, not only am I behind a substitute, but I am now at +2 behind a substitute, which, that just is a recipe for disaster for this guy. So I'm going to set up another Sword Stance, and now right here I see that he's in on Cresselia, which means I can 2-KO this thing easy with Shadow Sneak, or just in fact straight up Oko, because I am at +3 in attack. So he's going to go out into his Heatran, but I am a Jolly Nature, Aegislash, and it is paralyzed, which means I'm going to be able to outspeed it. Oko that thing with a Sacred Sword. Now he's going to go out into Swampert. Really, I'm not really sure what this thing wants to do, so I am going to go for a Shadow Sneak. I'm kind of hoping it would do a bit more damage than that. I probably should have went for a Sacred Sword, then followed up by a Shadow Sneak, and probably would have been able to knock it out, but I didn't. Right here, I do predict him just to go for another Earthquake, so I am going to switch out into my my Bubbles, my Empoleon, and just knock that thing out with the Grass Knot. He's going to go back out into his Machamp. I did not want to take a Bullet Punch, so I'm going to switch out back out of my Aegislash, but it turns out he is a Resto Sleep-Talking Machamp, which, that is pretty awesome in and of itself, but unfortunately that also means I am basically able to wall this set completely, set up a Sword Stance, and then, yeah, I'm basically primed for a sweep right here, so I am going to go for a Sacred Sword. Not really sure what he wants to do. Maybe go for like a Dark Pulse or something. I get a crit there. Crit did not matter whatsoever, because I am just going to be able to follow up with a Shadow Sneak. And then even if he did go for like an attack right there, even if he lived, I still am behind a substitute. He just forfeits right there because he knows he cannot win. So that is another good game. Moving right along to the last one. Not last battle, but I have probably like a couple more battles I can do, so I'm going to be leading off my Registeel. He's going to be leading off with Poseidon, his Politoed. He's going to go for Scald, burned me first turn, not really. 30% hacks, not bad, not bad. He's gonna switch right here. Gonna go out into his Azumarill, as I'm just gonna set up my rocks just because I want to break any potential sashes he has. Gonna go for a Thunder Wave here. I am able to score the paralysis right there, which is a bit helpful. And right here, I'm just gonna start seismic tossing as he gets paralyzed again. I really need to stop this thing from setting up like a belly drum or something like that. As he gets paralyzed for a third time, I'm saying paralyzed. I'm not even sure if that's a word or not, but he does get paralyzed for the third time in a row, which is pretty awesome. And then he's gonna go for a waterfall, just knock me out. That's unfortunate, but you know it had to be done. Gonna go for a grass knot. Unfortunately, he's not gonna be able to knock it out. He goes for a power up punch that does substantial amount of damage. Is huge power. He gets paralyzed once again, which stops him from going for an Aqua Jet, getting a bit more damage off, but, you know, that's that. He's going to go into Arriba, his Mexican thingy, as he goes for Focus Blast. That's going to be able to knock me out. That's fine. I'm just going to go into I don't need it anymore, my Genesect, and I can pretty much free to go for a Bug Buzz, as he brings back in his Poseidon to get the rain back up, as that Bug Buzz does a nice chunk of damage. Hopefully, even not even No. It doesn't knock it out. But fortunately for me, though, he does not score the burn right there, which means my Genesect is going to be able to live a little bit longer. And right here, I really thought I would live, but then I forgot about Swift Swim, so, you know, he is going to be able to knock me out with the following Waterfall. But unfortunately for me, he has Life Orb, which means he will not be able to live the next hit himself. So right here, he's going to go for the Hydro Pump. I'm just going to go straight away for the Sword Stance. I'm not really sure how much damage it's going to do or what he wants to do, in fact, if he wants to, like, Dragon Dance or something like that. So I am just going to go for a Shadow Sneak, hopefully do a lot of damage, and it does do quite a bit of damage. Unfortunately, though, as I Mega Evolve, go for the Bullet Punch, it is not going to be able to knock it out as he goes for a Hydro Pump. He does miss, you know, is a bit of hacks right here. And then he's just going to bring in his Politoed. That thing's going to die to South Rock entry. And now he's going to bring in his Protean Greninja. And I'm just going to go for an Aerial Ace. Hopefully knocked it out. But no, it doesn't. But a Bullet Punch following up will. And now he's basically forced to bring in his Ariba once again. Go for a Scald and knock out my Scizor. So now it all comes down to this, if I hit my Fire Blast or not. And I do. And it is going to be able to knock out the Ariba, the Mexican Ludicolo, and that will be a very narrow, very hacksy game. Finally, I like looking at all these battles, you know, I got hacked so bad, so, you know, it is kind of good to have one or two battles where I'm not hacked as bad. So, you know, looking at this one, he's going to go out into his Ghetto Bitch, his Mega Mawile. Going to Mega Evolve right here, just going to go straight away for the Thunder Wave. Just want to get, like, I just want this thing slowed down as much as possible. I'm just going to go out into, Gonna go for a Seismic Toss. He gets a critical hit on his next Fire Fang, which is a bit unfortunate. And then following up with a Sucker Punch that will be able to knock me out. I'm gonna go into my Aegislash. I am gonna set up a substitute, predicting him to go for the Sucker Punch, which is great. Now right here, I'm gonna Sword Stance. Not really sure what this thing wants to do, as he does end up getting paralyzed right there. I'm just going to go now at +2, go straight away for the Sacred Sword. Just want to gauge and see how much damage it does. It does do a nice chunk of damage. And I'm going to set up a substitute, predicting him to go for Sucker Punch, as he ends up getting paralyzed there, as I guess he didn't go for a Sucker Punch, he went for a Fire Fang. And I'm just able to knock that thing out, so, you know, that's one huge threat out of the way. But it's not over yet. He still has two more threats on his team that I can see, his Azumarill and his Clefable. I'm just going to go straight away for a Shadow Sneak, as he ends up going for Foul Play. That's going to be able to do quite a bit of damage off on me. I'm going to actually risk the fact that I would not be faster. He wouldn't go for a Shadow Sneak. I'm going to go for Sacred Sword. He ends up going for a Swagger right there. It ends up helping me out, as I'm able to knock him out with a Shadow Sneak. And then I get paralyzed right there. And then he sets up a Belly Drum. But it turns out he is not Citrus Berry, which is very, very weird. And then he's able to outspeed and knock me out, which, you know, I did a calc on it, and he has speed investment on that Azumarill, because Aegislash naturally outspeeds it, and the fact that I'm Jolly means I'm basically guaranteed to outspeed it, so he had a lot of speed investment, which was a bit unfortunate. So now I have to deal with this Azumarill, which caused me many heartaches. And, yeah, he crits me right there as I go for a Bullet Punch, and, yeah. I basically have nothing for this Azumarill, so I think I end up getting swept by this thing, yeah. So, he goes for one final, yep, I end up getting swept by an Azumarill. So, you know, you get hacked, you get hacked, you get hacked. I think that's how the saying goes, right? Next battle onwards, we're gonna be leading off with we got the Genie team. Alright, this is the Genie team. I have no idea. A friend of mine's like, use the 3 genies in a mono-type battle, so I was like, sure, why not? So, we trade off rocks first turn, and then he defogs, which is like, why? I have no idea why you would defog after you just set up rocks. So, he's going to U-turn out after I whirlwind. I'm just going to take this opportunity to set up my own rocks. I'm pretty sure all he wants to do is, defog or something like that, which basically means I get a free switch into my Dragonite, start Dragon Dancing, and then hopefully start wrecking some lives. He ends up going for a Brave Bird. That's fine by me. I am actually going to be the leftovers Dragon Dance instead of the Lumberry or Weakness Policy set, which I know a lot of people like. Personally speaking, I like the leftover set. It's not a bad set. So I'm getting really freaking greedy right here, setting up all the way to +4 as he's just brave birding away. Looking at his team, I really didn't see that many forms of priority, as I do reveal that I have I roost right here, as I am going to be able to roost up, get to a pretty decent range of HP. Going to roost up all the way up to my multi-scale, as he's just going to Brave Bird right here. I'm hoping for the to knock him out with recoil, but then again with the range of HP and the fact that he has leftovers, it probably wouldn't matter that much. So I'm gonna go into my the Fire Punch, then Dragon Claw, and yeah, I'm gonna be able to knock this thing out and just start wrecking things, because he gets a crit right there, which is a bit unfortunate, but it was a crit resisted hit, so yeah. It's basically over right here. I get a Dragonite sweep, as he's gonna intimidate. He gets 2 intimidate drops off, one with the Gyarados, one with the Landorus Therian, and yeah, he's gonna go out and go roar the Thundurus, but nothing can outspeed, nothing can handle. He really shouldn't have let me set up a Dragonite. He actually is able to live this next Dragon Claw, which I thought was pretty funny. And right here, I'm just being a dick right here and just roosting just because I can. I'm really pretty bad. I'm a pretty evil person when it comes to. I was just reading the chat fly by, and yeah, I got distracted because I was reading the chat, and all I see is me saying how cocky I am. So I am pretty cocky. I'm just saying, but anyways, I get distracted a lot, so I have to stop reading the chat, or at least have the screen look at the chat so you can see what I'm laughing at. But anyways, looking over at this team, I'm gonna be leading off with Registeel. He's gonna be leading off with Mewtwo. I'm just going to go straight away for a Thunder Wave right here. Just paralyze the Mewtwo, because Mewtwo is a pretty big threat on his team. Is he just going to keep on going for Aura Spheres? I'm going to be able to set up my Stealth and get a bit of chip damage off on this Mewtwo, which is great, because Mewtwo is a pretty big threat, especially when it reveals the fact that it has the Aura Sphere. I'm going to go out into my Aegislash, go set up a Substitute. Not really sure what it wants to do, as he ends up getting paralyzed here, which is a bit unfortunate, but at the same time, it did go 3 turns without getting paralyzed. Gonna set up a Swords Dance, and he gets paralyzed again. I don't know why I keep on saying paralysis. I see the para, and I think I'm saying paralyzed, and I go paralyzed. I don't know why, but it's just what I do. So anyways, I'm at +3. I'm behind a sub. I go for a Shadow Sneak. I'm not fearing anything. He's gonna go out and do a Snorlax. Not really sure what this thing wants to do, but don't want to look to find out. Pop that thing with a Sacred Sword. I'm pretty good. He goes out into Aerodactyl. Right here, what I should have done was I should have went straight away for the Shadow Snake, because I'm pretty sure I would have been able to knock it out of the range of HP that it was at. But I don't, so I end up taking a little bit of damage that I didn't have to do, and I lose my Substitute. Goes for a Moonblast, gets a Special Defense drop, and it does overhap, but it is a resisted hit, even though I am in Blade form, and with the defense and HP investment that I have, I am able to take those hits very, very nicely. Go for a Shadow Sneak, knock out the Metagross, and I think I might end up getting an Aegislash sweep, but I don't really get many sweeps at all, so these sweeps took it ends up going for a Crunch on a Rayquaza. Don't remember that. But anyways, I'm able to go for into my Scarf Teacher and just knock that thing out with a Flamethrower. And you're probably looking at this and seeing wow, he gets a lot of sweeps, and you only upload sweeps. No, I think I've shown 2 or 3 sweeps. And these were months and months and months ago, because I rarely ever upload sweeps, just because I don't know, I don't like I don't like uploading sweeps so much just because, like, I don't know, I just don't think they're that impressive. Like, big whoop-de-poop, you're facing a shitty player. That's not much to be proud of, you know? It's just sort of that kind of feeling. So anyways, I'm going to end up leading off my X-Drill. Goes for the Rock Slide. I miss, but the miss is made up for by the fact that I get a flinch next turn, which is pretty awesome. I'm going to go for one more. Get a bit of min-max damage variation going on right here as he Dragon Dances and he ends up Aqua Jetting. I think this is, please tell me this is, yeah, you know, you get a sweep, you get swept. He goes for a knockoff. And yeah, I think this is a match I end up getting swept by a Groudon. So, you know, that's that. I am going to be able, oh wait, no, never mind. I end up killing off the Groudon, but unfortunately, though, I do have nothing to handle this Galvantula. I'm going to go for the Ice Fang. Unfortunately, it does absolutely nothing. It's going to Bug Buzz me. It doesn't kill because Drapion is a monster. Go for the Poison Jab. Unfortunately for me, though, if I would have went for 2 Poison Jabs, that would have been the end of Galvantula, but it wasn't. So now I'm going to be forced to go out and make a Blastoise. Gonna go for the Volt Switch. Does not do nearly as much as I thought it would do. Ended up going for a Dragon Pulse. Should have went straight away for the Aura Sphere, but, you know, that was that. He ends up Mega Evolving right there, which is a bit of a weird play on his part. He shouldn't be setting up so much. As now he's going to go out as Dragonite, and you guessed it, he's going to set up more. Going to go for the Dragon Pulse. As it turns out, he is a Weakness Policy set, which, you know, I was like, oh, I shouldn't have guessed that. Outrage, dead, and, yeah, the only other Pokemon I have left is my defensive Dusclops, and even a physically defensive Dusclops, oh, actually I was able to take that. Go for the Seismitoss, though, that will not be enough, and I can't take 2 because, you know, as awesome as Dusclops is, he is not awesome enough to take 2 of them. So, you know, I think I'm going to do one more battle, and then that will be it. So, thank you all for watching, and, if you enjoy these kind of things, like looking over all my saved replays, definitely leave a like and a comment for that. And also, I do apologize for how shitty my mic quality is, because I am recording off of my system audio mic, because I don't have my regular computer mic, because I am on vacation. So, yeah, last battle, let's see here. He's going to lead off with, oh my god, it's a Klefki. So, he's going to lead off with Klefki. He's actually going to switch out, go into Stabilize. I go for an Earthquake. That does nice damage to the Earthquake, which immediately tells me that it is specially defensive. However, I do not want to take a Will-O-Wisp, but I know it's coming. So, I'm going to switch out. I'm going to go out into my Blastoise. So, this was a really old team that I made. It's not like really OU. It's kind of like UU-ish. Except for the fact that it has an Excadrill on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for Water Pulse. That just does absolutely nothing to Chansey. Going to switch out. Going to go back onto my Excadrill because I know it's an immediately threat. It threatens it out. Going to go for an Earthquake and, yeah, to a KO that Malamar because I'm a Scarfed Excadrill. Scarfed Excadrill is really awesome. I'm going to go for one more Earthquake as he ends up going for a Giga Drain. That does a nice bit of damage, but I know I don't want to lose my my Excadrill that early, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out. I'm going to go on my Technician Roserade and try and hit that thing up with a Hidden Power Fire. But remember, Thick Fat does absolutely nothing. And right here, I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's go out into physically defensive Dusclops and just start walling this thing. Hold up my hands and say, whoa, man, you can't pass. You shall not pass. But anyways, Giga Drain, Will-O-Wisp. Probably should have Pain Splitted right there in all honesty, but I wasn't thinking. He's going to Giga Drain me as I Pain Split right now, get a lot of HP back, but Dusclops is just so incredibly bulky. He goes for Leech Seed, he does miss, that miss does matter, I'm not going to lie, it does matter because it allows me to get behind a sub, and then from there I can start like Seismic Tossing, I can start Pain Splitting, I can get all my HP back, and the only way he gets HP back is really by synthesizing, so I'm not going to lie, that Leech Seed miss kind of matters. So what he's going to do right here is he's going to Giga Drain again. I know it's going to break my Substitute, which is why I'm going to take this opportunity to set up another one. And now looking at the range of HP where he's at, I know he's going to use Synthesis. So I am going to Pain Split on the predicted Synthesis. He's going to switch out now, going to go on to Klefki. There's not really much Klefki can do to me. I'm not fearing anything. He's going to set up a Substitute. I'm going to go for a Will-O-Wisp. Really should have went for another Seismic Toss, but I wasn't thinking. So right here, he's going to go for a Foul Play. That is not going to be enough to break my Substitute. It's like I'm going to be able to go for one more Foul Play, knock out his Substitute. So now I'm looking pretty good. He is going to be able to knock out my Substitute with another Foul Play. But now he's at a range of HP where there's absolutely nothing he can do. He's going to go for Thunder Wave. Unfortunately for him, I do not get fully paralyzed, which means I am going to be able to knock him out. But now in comes this Chansey. I do not want to take the opportunity. I just don't want to mess around with Chansey. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out. I'm going to go back out into my Drapion. Choice Banded. He switches. I get a crit there. Crit didn't matter because I'm pretty sure I would have been able to outspeed and knock him out with the second turn. Another following crit, as he ends up tricking me a Choice Scarf. He gets a Choice Band, which did not work out at all for him. I'm going to go for another Crunch, get the Defense Drop. Defense Drop is pretty awesome, because now that allows me to 3-hit KO the Chansey. And, yeah, that's a dead Chansey. Don't have to worry about that anymore. He's going to go out into Sableye right here. And really, I know that Will-O-Wisp was coming, but Will-O-Wisp was painfully obvious, so I'm going to be able to go switch out into my Blastoise. And now I'm able to basically Water Pulse both of his last two Pokemon to death. So that's what I'm going to do. Going to go for the Water Pulse. It's a nice chunk of damage, 83%. Nice and lovely damage. Right here, he sees absolutely no point in recovering because I would have been able to just knock him out right there. Gonna go into Gothitelos, go for the Psychic, not enough to knock me out. Go for the Dark Pulse, that will be enough to knock out the Gothitelos, so that will leave me with the awesome 6-0. I think that's like one of the only 6-0s I've ever gotten, because I think I've only gotten like possibly 10 6-0s my entire career. So, hopefully you enjoyed all these. Actually, no, I already said all that fun stuff before the last of this battle, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.